Hey everyone, welcome back to Matt and Margarita's Toy Box. I am Matt, and welcome back to the custom G.I. Joe classified figure series. For those of you that are new to the channel, we are going through my custom G.I. Joe classified figures one at a time, starting with the Cobras. And what you guys see here, we've already reviewed. If you missed it, I will put a link at the end of the video, so just watch this video and you can choose whichever one you want to view next. We did the custom Cobra Ferret, we got Cobra Officers, custom Storm Shadow, the last video was custom Destro, and after Destro, who better than his lady friend, my custom Baroness. Stay in focus. She does need a stand. You guys will see why in a second. My table's a little crooked, so she's being extra. There you go. Okay, so I typically do tutorial videos on how to make the figures, and then you guys kind of see what I start with and then the final result. I made all of my custom G.I. Joes before I was doing YouTube, so that's why we're doing reviews and not tutorials. So we are gonna, I do have a stand for her, but let's take a closer look. And you guys can see, I think she's very pretty. Very, very nice. You can see that I got her close up to the light here. I'm trying to give you guys a good look at that face. And just give a quick little view. And basically I'm going to go through what I did to make this figure, so you guys can do it at home if you wish. And we'll take a closer look at the gun for it. Actually, you know what? We'll take it out right now. Let's do the gun first. This is, I guess, a proper sniper rifle. Looks like it's better suited for low light. This pegs in here in the bottom. I think this gun was originally silver and I painted it black. Now, I'll try to find the link. I found this on eBay. I think there were like 5 different guns that came from China, if I'm not mistaken. And I want to say it was like 15 bucks, something like that. So it was worth it for me for an investment. If I remember correctly, this clip came out. I think you guys can see that the clip came out actually. So these are really highly detailed. The scope might have also come out, but I glued that in. This I kept here just in case I was doing like photography or something. I could still manipulate it. But I really like this thing. This is a very, very nice gun. Lots of detail. It's pretty sweet. Oh no. Well, I guess that's a good segue. Let's start with the head. So the glasses are removable. These are plastic. It's one piece. I think I had to cut out 2 or 3 before I got it right, and finally I did, because I just wanted to use natural resistance for this. So this is plastic and I just bent it to fit. I didn't glue these in, so they are movable. And I just used a piece of plastic from an action figure. I think it was a NECA figure. Box was getting thrown out anyway, so. And I went with more of a square look. I appreciate it. Let's take the head off, actually. Here you guys can see this face belongs to, if I'm not mistaken, I used the Marvel Legends Black Widow from the vintage line. I'll put up a photo here. That is that head. I just stripped the hair. She's got those nice green eyes. I added a little bit of kind of gloss or I'd call it like metallic finish to the lips, just to give it a sheen. The hair is epoxy sculpt. You can see an example of me just being lazy. Like, I went through the trouble of cutting using a razor blade to get these lines in the hair, but then I didn't here. So that's unfortunate. I was a little lazy back then. You can see I started here, but then I stopped. I don't know why I did that. I also added a little bit of blush in the cheeks. Gave her a little eyeshadow. So there's makeup on this figure. Or not makeup, the best thing to use, chalk. I used chalk and just kind of crunched it up. And then I applied it with a paintbrush. For the body, you can see we have two different blacks going on here. So this is more of like a metallic gray, this being a flat matte black. The collar's just painted on. I wanted to keep the figure as sexy as possible, showing off the shapes. So instead of sculpting a armor piece here, which would also lose the ab crunch, I was able to keep it. You guys can see it still moves. Just by tricking the eye. So I put epoxy sculpt around here as if it was a breastplate. Under there. You can see it stops right there. Same thing with the back. Just a nice little trick of the eye there. And then on top here we have rubber bands for the straps. Same thing underneath the breast. Very, very nice. And this is a Cobra Sticker, same packet I got for Storm Shadow. I just ended up using it here. So very nice. These are actually rubber bands, and what I did was I took epoxy sculpt and just kind of took a ball and slapped it on there. Now this is one of my favorite figures because this is the first time I used this technique. If you guys watch my Jack Torrance from The Shining figure tutorial, I show basically how you can print an image on paper and then kind of just put the epoxy sculpt over the image, and then all of a sudden you have basically like a stamp. So that's what I did here. I printed out the Cobra symbol, applied epoxy sculpt over the Cobra symbol, let it dry for a day, came back, and then I was able to just stamp it in there. So made a ball and pressed it in. So that's here, and it came out very, very clean, I think. Clean enough. And we also have one more here. This one I wish I would have pressed in a little bit more, but I mean, it's still there. You can still see it. We have rubber bands for this belt. Custom pouches. This is epoxy sculpt. They're very easy to make. The gauntlets are also rubber band. And then these two extra pieces here, these kind of tube-like pieces, are actually, they come with G.I. Joe O-rings. Like when I buy replacement O-rings, I go to the hardware store and you get like a bunch of different sizes in there for real cheap. These just happen to fit on the arm, so I left them in there. I thought it looked nice. And I'm sorry, I don't remember whose hands these are. It might be a Star Wars figure, because it's got that movement there. So this might be a Star Wars figure. Not really sure, but it looks like it's the same figure. Two of the same hand. Coming down here, we got a rubber band that is movable. And then for the gun sleeve, the way I make holsters for my guns, I'll take the pistol first, wrap paper around it, or Scotch tape, something smooth. And then I will sculpt around it. So you can see that was paper in there. This was paper. And then I just put epoxy sculpt over it. So that's sculpt. But to protect the gun, I used paper first. This gun, this pistol, comes from that same Marvel Legends Scarlet Witch. I like it. This was a pain in the butt. So I ended up sculpting the top one first, then I sculpted the middle one and then the bottom one, and you can see it didn't come out perfect. This one is thicker. You can actually see that. This one is thicker than this one. So it's not perfect, but to the untrained eye, it's pretty good. You can also see this one, I ended up doing a little higher than that one, so not great on my part, but good enough. Epoxy sculpt on the kneecap, just a simple little knee pad, I thought. Kind of looked good. These bottom shin parts and the heels come from Marvel Legends Enchantress. The rest of the body is the Captain Marvel from Marvel Legends. I believe it came out in 2016. It might be the Allfather wave. So that's the sexiest body they ever sculpted for Marvel Legends. That's my favorite body. If it was up to me, all the figures would be on there. And then we have heels. I thought it was a nice touch to add red down here, just because it complements the red on the chest. But I know a lot of people hate heels because it's difficult to stand the figure, but I'd much rather have a problem standing it than have her looking like a guy. That's what I care more about, the sculpt. So for me, I really like the heels. I really like the gray here. I got it just dark enough without overdoing it. Here you guys can see an overall comparison with Hasbro's version of the Baroness from Classified with mine. To be honest with you, and I don't have much of an ego, but I do prefer mine. I think mine looks better. I don't like this kind of weird, I don't know what color that is. It's like a gray, but like it's not a pleasant gray. It's like a throw up type color. Looks like vomit or something. Like, I don't know. I don't like these scales on her shoulder. There you go. You can see that rippling right there. I don't really like that. I also don't like that gray. I think the red Cobra symbol should have been brighter. More gloss on the armor. Yeah, I don't know. I just prefer my version. I think overall she looks good. This one might look good if she gets some makeup. She has amazing cheekbones. She looks great in the face. Maybe it's just that there's nothing accentuating. I don't like how foggy those glasses are. Yeah, I prefer mine. Well, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Alright guys, that was the Baroness review, custom figure review. Please give me your thoughts and feedback in the comments below. Please like the video if you found any of this useful or helpful in any way. Hopefully I inspired you guys to make your own versions of Baroness. Make sure you do the YouTube thing. Make sure you push those buttons down below. Make sure that you guys are checking back because I got a lot more G.I. Joe custom review figures coming. You guys are not going to want to miss it. Thank you so much for watching, and as always guys, stay creative.